I recently read The Tools by Phil Stutz and Barry Michels. The tools in this book will allow you to turn discomfort, anxiety, and laziness into productive energy. Each tool has been crafted and tested by the authors, who are trained psychotherapists with a combined 60 years of experience, helping people solve their problems and live with more courage, confidence, and creativity. When I read this book several years ago, I initially scoffed at each tool and doubted their power. But I kept an open mind, and now I can honestly say that of all the tools and all the books I've read, the 3 tools I'm going to cover in this video may have changed my life the most. Each tool requires you to use your imagination to bring a specific image to mind, which then activates a mysterious force, what the authors call a higher force, that guides you forward. Hold your skepticism until you try each tool a few times. Tool number 1, the reversal of desire. Use this tool when you're avoiding difficult work. Use this tool when you need to get out of bed and go for a run, but you'd rather hit the snooze button and sleep for 30 more minutes. Use this tool when you need to make a difficult phone call to ask for help, but you keep putting it off. The exact cue to use this tool is the resistance you feel when you think of doing an uncomfortable task. The moment you feel resistance to doing an uncomfortable task, execute the following 4 steps. First, imagine the task as a cloud hovering in front of you. Second, silently yell, "Bring it on," as you move into the cloud. Third, keep moving into the cloud until you feel at one with it. Then say to yourself, "I love pain." Number 4, feel the cloud spit you out the other side and thrust you toward a realm of pure light and think, "Pain sets me free." The realm of light represents the realm of possibility. If you condition yourself to move towards a painful but necessary task by using the reversal of desire, you will discover a world of possibility. Arnold Schwarzenegger moved into pain every day at the gym, and by moving into that pain, he earned 7 Mr. Olympia bodybuilding titles, which then opened the door to unexpected opportunities, like an acting career in Hollywood and the governorship of California. Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning and survivor of 4 Nazi death camps, decided to lean into the pain that he was experiencing instead of trying to ignore it and hide from it. Frankl moved through his painful experience to then create an entirely new field of psychology called logotherapy, which helped people find meaning amid suffering, which has effectively reduced the suffering of millions of people. Open yourself up to new possibilities by using the reversal of desire to move towards any necessary pain, any pain that lies between you and your goals. When you have a phone call you're avoiding or a workout you're putting off, see the potential pain of that task as a cloud hovering in front of you and perform the reversal of desire by yelling, "Bring it on," then moving into it, feeling at one with the pain and thinking, "I love pain." Then seeing the pain thrust you forward and thinking, "Pain sets me free." Each time you use this tool, you'll experience a slight nudge forward. Sometimes you'll need to use this tool 20 times to build up the inner strength to embrace the task you're avoiding. But that's okay, because it only takes about 3 seconds to perform the reversal of desire, which means you can perform this tool 20 times in the next minute. The more you use it, the more unstoppable you'll feel. Tool number 2, inner authority. Use this tool when you feel nervous before a performance. Think of a performance as, quote, any situation where you are subject to the judgment of others. This includes interviews, sales calls, presentations, and social events. The moment you experience performance anxiety, imagine you're standing on stage in front of people who make you feel insecure and inferior. This group might include past bosses or kids from high school you tried to impress. Then imagine projecting your insecurities and feelings of inferiority into a shadow that's off to one side of you. For most people, this shadow looks like a younger, weaker version of themselves. To a beautiful model in the book, the shadow looked like a 13-year-old girl, overweight, with a pasty face covered in zits. To a female CEO of a Fortune 500 company in the book, the shadow looked like a lonely, weeping 8-year-old girl. Author Phil Stutz's shadow is a young, skinny version of himself who is a fearful, inexperienced child. Once you create a manifestation of your insecurities in the form of a shadow, ignore the audience and focus all your attention on the shadow. Feel an unbreakable bond between the two of you. Now imagine you in the shadow turning towards the audience in unison and commanding their attention by saying, "Listen." feel the authority that comes from talking in unison with your shadow. When you conduct this inner authority tool before or during a performance, your anxiety will dissipate, and you'll feel as though you can freely express yourself. The power of fearless expression comes from the fact that you acknowledge, accept, and embrace your shadow self. Carl Jung, the great Swiss psychiatrist, explained that everyone has a part of them that makes them feel inferior to other people, regardless of their accomplishments, talents, and appearance. When you and I experience performance anxiety, we do so because we want the shadow self to stay hidden. It's like we're trying to hide a person in our basement when someone comes over because we're ashamed of what they'll think of him or her. During a performance, we use up energy to hide the shadow self, and as a result, we come across as stiff and overly self-conscious, and we fail to connect with people. But when you use the inner authority tool, you imagine that your insecurities are out in the open as the shadow self standing next to you. And because you embrace that shadow self and act in unison with it, you feel as though there is nothing people can say or think that will get you off your performance. And as a result, you feel free to express yourself, which makes you come across as more genuine and more likely to connect with the people you're performing to. Tool number 3, jeopardy. Use this tool when you feel lazy, or your concentration is fading, or you're about to give up on a worthwhile goal and give in to short-term pleasure. The moment you sense the urge to give in to a guilty pleasure, conduct the jeopardy tool by seeing yourself lying on your deathbed with medical devices all around you and tubes connected to your body. See your older self sit up just before his or her last moment on earth and scream at you, "Don't waste the present moment." This tool instantly generates motivation to move away from temptation and towards meaningful goals because it brings to mind the ultimate deadline, death. A deadline, one you can't escape, and one with real consequences, like a college paper that must be handed in at a specific time or you'll fail, is incredibly motivating. You'll find hidden reserves of energy when a deadline is looming, like finding the willpower to stay up all night to write that college paper. When you see your older self close to the ultimate deadline, death, screaming at you not to waste your life, you will suddenly find the willpower to resist temptation and refocus on your goals, because you don't want to suffer the consequences of getting to the end knowing you've wasted your life. The 3 tools, the reversal of desire, inner authority, and jeopardy, are like any skill. You need to use them frequently to get good at them and increase their effectiveness. They all require a bit of energy to get started, but they will give you back more energy than you put in. If you use these tools, every time you experience discomfort or performance anxiety or laziness, you will find that you have an endless stream of productive energy at your disposal. That was the core message that I gathered from The Tools by Barry Michels and Phil Stutz. Like I said before, this book has fundamentally changed my life. I highly recommend it. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribed to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.